through enduring hardships. The tears of pain I shed today will be the tears of joy I shed tomorrow. The brave never fall. We rise and maintain balance through freedom and connection. I'm Coach MJG Tiger, life coach and mentor. Helping others find their passion, peace, and purpose in life brings me my passion, peace, and purpose in life. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Welcome to Vibes. There's no need to manifest what you want if you have faith and trust. Faith in yourself and trust in what you are designed to experience and achieve in life. Trusting yourself through faith is a powerful combination that will give you strength each day. I've always talked about on this podcast that trust is one of the biggest building blocks that you can add to your blueprint of life. That when you trust yourself, it transfers into almost every single area that is difficult for you to master, quote unquote, or at least difficult for you to change and grow, because we can't trust the process, or we don't trust the process, or we put limited beliefs in our mind. So sometimes we have to have faith just to get to trust. And if you have faith, whether it's in a higher power, if you believe in God, or if you're more spiritual, or you just have faith, genuine faith in yourself, in your abilities, and your purpose, when we bring it back to ourselves, when we bring it back to self-worth, self-discipline, self-respect, self-control, self-love, we find that trust is much easier because we have room to make mistakes. We have room to learn from those mistakes, which in turn gives us the ability to be able to trust ourselves to move forward without being afraid of those mistakes. And we have faith because we have a place to call home. We can return back to our faith, return back to our purpose, return back to our trust. And that's all that means. That's all that matters, is that you have a home within yourself so you can have much more faith and trust on things that are much bigger than us. And through that, that's what gives us strength. That's what gives us bravery to move forward each and every day. How are you feeling? How are you feeling mentally, within your mind? How are you feeling physically, throughout your body? How are you feeling emotionally, within your heart? How are you feeling spiritually, within your soul? These are things I ask myself every single day, morning, noon, and night, before I lay my head down for peaceful and hopefully powerful sleep. Mind, body, heart, and soul. How are you feeling? Ask yourself that. In this moment, take a moment of silence and ask yourself genuinely, honestly, how are you feeling? life moves unbelievably fast, yet uncontrollably slow. Shifting in tone, ebbs and flows, from heavenly skies to the depths of the oceans. Days are wasted when we go through the motions. Emotionally molded, self-inflicted and scolded. We're our coldest critics. Too many moments are stolen. We must live in the present. So many gifts we are holding. Within our hearts, positivity exploding. Encouragement to us all. Victory arrives. The skies are golden. We never folded. Never been bolder. We stand together in purpose. Shoulder to brave shoulder. We live one life. One life, and we're gone. We can do it alone, or we can do it with the people that we call our greatest allies, our friends, family, mentors. Yes, we have the option to do it alone, but sometimes it's greater to do it with those we trust the most. Vibes, Episode 11, Our Fountain of Vitality from Within. One of the greatest things that we see in storytelling, movie making, general fables and myths and legends is vitality, or the youth. Wanting to stay young, wanting to not age, wanting to not die, wanting not to go through the process of becoming unable to be what you once were, especially if there are things that are hard to let go of, which are people, places, and things. As a human being, we all identify with a lot, if not most of those things. Whereas we age, yes, we take in more knowledge, we see more places, we have new relationships, but we know that it's temporary. It's finite. At some point, it's going to end. That reality can be very discouraging and very polarizing in a negative way. If you focus on it too much, it can consume a person. It can almost become a trauma or something that will prevent you from wanting to go forward in life because you're so afraid of this inevitable outcome, which is death. And it's one of the things that, if you put it in the right perspective, if you focus on it in a positive way, it is something, at least for me, I've come to learn that with all the people that have passed in my life and all the relationships that have come and go and all the people that I thought would be in my life and they're gone, all the friends and family, anyone that has been in my life and had an impact, once they're gone, I will remember that you were never going to know them forever. So you go into each relationship, each friendship, each coworker relationship, partnership, teamwork, whatever it is, you go into these relationships knowing that they're finite, regardless if you die, they die, you move away, they move away, you fall apart. You realize that it will not last forever. Whether it's a month or 10 years or 50 years. At some point, that relationship in some capacity is going to end. That thing that you have at some point is not going to be available. That place at some point won't exist. So it's up to us, the individuals, to look at things in a positive way. Not look at it as if the dreadful, inevitable doom of it, but look at it as a grateful, thankful person, place, or thing in your life that makes you want to make the most of that relationship, get the most use out of that thing, and experience the most out of that place. The funny thing is that we can sometimes not see that when it's happening. There's people, places, and things that we take for granted. But what if, and again, life begins and ends within you, within me, the individual. It starts and ends with you. Your relationship with yourself at some point is going to end. But that doesn't mean your life is negative. It doesn't mean your life has to live in a realm of darkness and shadows because at some point it's going to end. If anything, you should be celebrating your life while you're alive. We talk about it all the time. We don't give the roses to the people that are alive. We wait till they're dead and then we give them the roses. Let's give them their flowers then. After they're gone, well, it's too late. They can't experience it. And once I started realizing that, I started thinking, why do you take anything for granted in this world? Especially if it's something that makes you happy, that brings you joy, and especially if it aligns with your purpose. Just think about this. My tone just in this podcast has changed and shifted just because I'm focusing on positive now and I'm not thinking about the negative. We do this. We sink into ourselves. The inevitable. The inevitable. Or you can think of it as, I am grateful. I am grateful. Listen to the sound and just the words. Inevitable. Grateful. We have to make ourselves feel those words in a positive way, because I could switch it. I could say inevitable in a positive way and say grateful in a negative way. It's about being genuine and honest with who you are within. And I think youth has a lot to play into it. As we get older and we just have our minds just riddled and packed with memories and people and places and things. And the more you see, there's more things that you can see that could trigger you, or more things that are drawn to you where you want to go back to. It can be overload central for a person. It could be absolutely overwhelming, way too much, stressful, anxiety filled days and nights of being constantly reminded of things you either love, hate, or don't care about. And as you get older, you're just packing more and more boxes. And I've talked about that example of taking memories and packing it in a box and going in the backyard, digging up a hole, sticking the box in there, covering it up with dirt, and going back in the house and acting like that particular thing that you buried never existed. And that could be a memory of a person, place, or thing, obviously. But at some point, either you or someone else is going to dig up that box, because whatever is in there didn't go away. You're just trying to hide it. And it's the same when we ignore a phone call. It doesn't mean someone didn't make the phone call to you because you didn't answer the phone. Somebody still wants to talk to you in some capacity. It's the same if we miss a day of work. It doesn't matter if you miss a day of work. You either want to go back to it or you don't. Reality exists beyond our thought process, beyond what we want, beyond what we feel we should have. What really comes down to this, and the simple fact of we are getting older every single day. And it's our vitality that will get us through a lot of days, because you're only as young as you feel, a lot of people say. Now, I'm 43 years old and I feel like I'm on most days probably 10 years younger than I actually am. And I'm happy with that, but I put in the work to make sure that it happens. And I'm not talking about the physical work. I'm talking about the mental work. I'm not focused on how I'm going to feel at age 45, 55. I don't care. I'm 43. And I could feel and believe I feel as young as I want to feel. A lot of days I feel like I'm 23. I feel like I'm 20 years younger than I actually am. We get into these tropes where you're 43. I run marathons. I have people all the time telling me, why are you running at all at age 43? Isn't that bad for you? How could that possibly be bad for me? Well, aren't you going to hurt your knees and your legs and your ankles? I'm like, yeah, I hurt myself all the time. In fact, I've been running on a bad left ankle for years now, and I still will find a way to run because that's just what I do. I still want physical jobs. Even though mentally I'm in a place now where I'm more at a place where I like peace and I don't like putting my body through the rigors that I did when I was in my teens or in my early 20s, I still know that if I need to, if I want to, I can do it. And one of the things I think is very important and encouraging for any person is to know that your vitality is key to so many different factors in your life. In regards to relationships, your relationship with God or any religion you believe in, your relationship with your coworkers, your relationship with your children, your spouse, even your freaking dog and cat. The younger you feel, the better you feel. And it's a self-image type deal. And this is why people put on makeup. This is why older men still work out. It's not just for the appearance. It's also, this is what we feel like because we feel we can do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're beautiful inside and out and you want to enhance yourself with makeup, why not? Same with guys. If you feel like you physically can go and run a marathon or go in the gym and pump heavy weight, why not? It all adds to you living your life. Why not do it? So let's look at the definition of vitality. The state of being strong and active. Energy. The state of being strong and active. Energy. The power-giving continuance of life present in all living things. This is the constant that goes through with us. Strong, active, energy. It doesn't say anything about complacency, laziness, contentment, being immobile. Strong, active energy, not weakness, inactivity, or laziness. And we can apply that sort of a mindset to everything if you choose. I was a living example of the complete opposite of all those words. I went through a very long period, maybe 2 decades worth of being weak, inactive, with no energy, straight up lazy. But you couldn't have told me that at the time. I thought I was all those things. I truly believed I was strong. I believe I was very active, and I thought I was full of energy. I wasn't. And I had to come to terms with myself that I wasn't. And I needed to understand why it was so important for me to change that mindset of believing I was something when I wasn't, and why I thought I wasn't. And a lot of times we do it because we're going off of what other people say. And really, either way, as a human being, we all know this, it's really up to you. Somebody could walk up to you and tell you you're the most beautiful person in the world, and we all know if you don't feel that way, you don't feel that way. And vice versa. I needed to look in the mirror and say to myself, I don't like what I'm looking at. I don't like what I look at myself internally through my own eyes. And I truly feel if you go in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, you can see into your soul. It's like looking inside of your body. I didn't like what I saw. I certainly didn't like what I saw external wise. Physically, it wasn't where I wanted to be. And I had no energy to change either one of those things, even though I thought I was every single day. I didn't understand the concept of discipline. Vitality needs discipline. Listen to this one again. The power-giving continuance of life present in all living things. The word continuous is underlined if you go to Google and check out the definition for vitality. The power-giving underlined continuance of life present in all living things. What can be more continuous than discipline? What can be more alive than you are every single day that you live your life? So vitality, the complete awareness that you have to be present in the moment. And not only present in the moment because you have to be, present in the moment because you want to be here in this moment. And not only because you want to be here in this moment, but you want to make the best of each moment. It's discipline, and you have to get on track with that if you want that discipline to carry through in any way. You can be disciplined in being lazy. You can be disciplined and not showing up for yourself. You can be disciplined with your weight. You can be disciplined with your looks, what you have, where you go, what you do. But make no mistake about it, that is a choice. I know people who have no arms and no legs, and they still wake up every single day and they get stuff done. They have faith. They trust themselves. They believe in themselves. And they are full of vitality because they're just lucky to be alive. They're happy to be alive, and they want to do something with their life. They have every excuse in the world, and they don't use them. They don't want to hear about it. They don't even want to sense that you may look at them as somebody who cannot do what you're doing, even though they're physically, in a lot of ways, it's difficult for them to do much. But their minds are telling them, I still have a life to live with whatever it is that I have. And that's encouraging. That is powerful. What is it about vitality that people gravitate towards? We all see all the time. You go to any major city, especially tourist attractions, and you'll see people throwing pennies in fountains. And they're making wishes about whatever it is they want to wish about, whatever it is they want, whatever it is they're trying to manifest, what they're praying about, what they feel they haven't been blessed with, what they're ungrateful for, what they are grateful for, whatever it is. We see water, and water is, for me, is powerful. Like, whenever I want to change my state, I'll go around water. It's nothing better than a good cold shower to change your perspective on anything. We talked about the fountain of youth. Why is that so attractive? Why is it not called the lake of youth, or the tree of youth? It's called the fountain of youth. Let's look at the definition of fountain brought to us by Sir Google. A fountain symbolizes life, truth, change, and water. Fountains and water sources have played an important role in the history and are essential to life. Even water itself is a symbol of purification. We can find different symbols, paintings, and writings on fountains, which indicates their significance and power. And that is, if you look up fountain symbolism, that is the definition of it. And there's bold letters that are highlighted: life, truth, change, and water. So in my mind, I've always thought this, even when I was a kid. Whenever I saw a fountain, I used to gravitate towards it. I would run towards it, and I would look. It'd be like one of the big fountains with pennies all in there. And again, if you go on any vacation, you'll find some really cool looking ones, and they're full of pennies and people making wishes. And I would always go there, and I would just stay there. My mother and father would have to come and get me and say, "Okay, Michael, let's go." But something about it, I would just stare in the water, and I would look at all those pennies, and I would just say to myself, that's incredible that so many people are throwing these pennies in here and making wishes, and they're walking away hoping that something happens. And I always attributed it to faith. It was no different than praying and going to church. I went to church every Sunday, and I used to always pray. Even as a kid, I would always ask for certain things. And as I got older, I realized it's not so much about the asking more than it is about the doing and the support from a higher power. And the fountain aspect, I always thought about this, and that the fountain and vitality, they go hand in hand. And it's not so much the fountain of youth, but if you combine the fountain aspect of the life, truth, change, and water to the vitality, the state of being strong, active, and energy, really what that is that's a human being. It really comes down to you. Those things, life, truth, change, and water, for vitality, strong and active and energy, our fountain of vitality from within. To me, it is basically your soul. It is you as a person who is walking around. You have that fountain of vitality. You are it. It is within us. It is up to us to come up with the right pathways to have the best life, to have faith and have our truths tell our story, not some kind of disingenuous life that we create for ourselves. What is the truth about our lives? What can we change and adapt and grow in areas in our lives that we don't necessarily like, or we don't necessarily feel like aligns with who we really are through purpose? Again, we talked about those blueprints. What blocks can we change and adapt and shrink or grow to make ourselves fit in the person we are now? Not the person we were, not the person we're going to become. We can only control the person we are now. And why, as a person, we talk about being dehydrated. Life, truth, change, and water. I know me. My favorite drink is water. My favorite place to be around is water. Whenever I'm at my most peaceful, I'm in water. There's a place that I go to out here. If you've ever been to St. Louis, Missouri, which is where I'm from, but if you're from Missouri, period, you've heard of the Johnson's Shut-In. That is one of my favorite places to go. There's a specific place that I like to go, and I like to lay in the water. It's just, this shut-in has 3 kind of different stages. It's just a big rocky canyon, and you have to climb down these rocks into the water, and the bed of the sediment is all just little pebbles and rocks, and there's crawfish in there and fish, and there's water snakes in here. But it's open to the public. So it's just this place that is getting cut through by this river. And the way that the water comes down, there's like a little shallow place, which I call the baby pool. And then it spills over into another place, which is a little deeper. And that's where kind of the younger kids will go, and the adults who don't want too much craziness. And then there's this big rocky area. It's full of rocks, and you can climb over them. These rocks are massive. You can climb up and around them. And you move over to this other area where it's kind of like a little bit of a waterfall, and then it's this big shallow, it's not really shallow, it's kind of deep, but I've actually never even gone over there. But it's a little more of the danger, more of the adventurous type people will go in that area. But I always liked it because it's just like 3 different stages of life or something like that. It's just these 3 different areas, completely different, on the same spot. And I would go in the water, and I would sit, and you can just feel the power of the water over you, and it does something to you because it's reminding you that you're human. There are certain things that will remind you that you are here to enjoy this world. You are here to be peaceful in this world. You're here to trust that this world can give you what you want if you are true to yourself. Again, a fountain symbolizes life, truth, change, and water. And I feel, for me, those are the things that make me the most peaceful. It makes me the most optimistic that good things are coming on the horizon. And although I can slow down and enjoy my time when I'm at that shut-in of, we're in the water and I'm just enjoying life, and the water is reminding me that true peace can be had, and that's why I like going there. It's just a reminder that I'm never as old as I feel I am in my mind. There's something about the water, it just kind of tells you are still here, you are here now, and you are going to go further once you leave here. It's not about finding contentment and saying, oh, this feels so good, I'm going to stay in this water forever. No, it's about a reminder of why you should keep going. Which is why I love the concept of the fountain. Because again, if you walk into a fountain or wishing well or anything like that, you throw the penny in there, and you make your wish, or you make a blessing, whatever it is you do after you toss your coin in there. Whatever tradition or your culture has in regards to those fountains, because you can go anywhere in the world and you'll still see these fountains everywhere with, you know, coins and change all the bottom from people's wishes and prayers and blessings and whatever it is that they, you know, attach themselves with in regards to the outcome of what they want for tossing that coin in there in the first place. But you don't just stand there and just wait for it to happen there. You know, you toss the coin in and you have to have trust and faith that whatever it is you bless that coin with or prayed over or made a wish on, that it will come true. But you have to walk away. You have to walk away. You have to turn your back on that coin and that fountain, and you have to walk away, and you have to trust and believe that whatever you said can and will come to pass for you. And I think that's why I've always gravitated towards it. It is one of the greatest things that people say, I don't have any faith. Then why would you do that then? We do things that are faith-filled all the time. We do things that, as human beings, that is a leap of faith and risky at times. And it's all based on faith and trust in ourselves, or we wouldn't do it in the first place. But we second guess ourselves when they don't happen the way that we believe they should or could. And that's when the problem comes in. But that's when we have to remind ourselves that we live one life. That we live one day at a time. That whatever happened the day before doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen the next day. That whatever it is we believe in, there's always room for growth and change in our lives to adjust those blueprints we talked about in any which way that fits you. And not only us, but the people in our lives. We have an obligation to the people that we love, to the people that say they love us, to be the best version of ourselves. And one of the best ways to do that is by being completely self-aware of what it is. If you went to a fountain or a wishing well, what would you wish for? What would you pray for? Same when you go to church. I know when I pray, I'm not asking God anymore for anything. I'm telling him what I'm accomplishing. I'm accepting what I'm getting. I'm appreciating everything that I have around me to be able to do the things I want to do each day. And I'm very grateful for my vitality and my youth. And I let them know that every single day. It's not about asking for me. It's about saying thank you. I have to do the work. Everyone's relationship to God is different. But as human beings, we have to understand that we are truly as youthful as we tell ourselves we are. If you see the finish line at a certain point in your life, you can't be shocked that you lived 20 years past that finish line. You did nothing in those 20 years. We can't be looking at finish lines. There is no end. Not in my mind, not in my book. I can't tell anybody else what to think. But just what if you assumed there was no end? That fountain of youth deal. That whole deal of what if you could live forever? I wouldn't want to live forever. Who wants to live to see their loved ones pass away and the people, places, and things that they love come and go? You meet a whole group of new people and they go, you live forever. Are you going to have all those memories stacked on top of each other? I mean, as human beings, 100 years of memories, that's a lot. 100 years of heartbreak, 100 years of happiness, ups and downs. You're talking about 100-year roller coaster, culminating in a volcano that you can't control that's going to end your life. Who wants an infinite roller coaster ride? Who wants to go to a theme park and ride the same roller coaster over and over and over again for the rest of their lives? No, you at least want to go get off that and get on a different coaster. That's the human condition. That's what we're designed to do. Adapt, choice, change, growth. Talk about the butterfly effect. What happens on one side of the world will affect you. You're doing the exact same thing. The next sentence that comes out of your mouth to the right person could change the world. We don't know. But that's what makes life so beautiful. That's what makes life so great. That's why we should be encouraged every single day to get up and live, because it's about perspective. If you wake up and you have a dark, brooding, shadow-filled perspective on this life, you're going to get dark, brooding, gray skies with storms, rain, hail, hurricane, typhoon, volcano. But if you wake up and you understand you have positivity and you want more, you want change, you're willing to walk away from that fountain after you dropped your coin in there and made your wish, and you have faith that whatever it is you prayed, asked for, wished for, it's going to come to pass, you can turn your back confidently and walk away. Why? Because you have vitality. You have time. You're strong. You're active. You have energy. You're youthful because you want to be, not because you have to be. This life is what you make of it and how you perceive it. Light or dark, it's up to you. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. We rise and maintain balance.